Hello, my name is Kim, and in this timeless reading, we are going to find out what it is that you can expect and or look forward to in the next 14 days. Now, because this is a timeless reading, the next 14 days could be either from whenever you happen to be watching this video, or it could be any next 14 days of your choice. Just be sure before selecting a group to have firm in your mind what next 14 days you want to know more about. Now, in this reading, I will be working with both tarot and oracle cards, as well as homemade divination tools. And at the beginning of each reading, I will be sharing with you what I intuitively picked up on when connecting with the energy of your chosen group. Okay, but with that being said, let us now take a closer look at the options. Option 1. Option 2. Option 3. Option 4. Please take a moment to meditate on the options, and whichever illustration you are drawn to the most, then that will be the group or reading that has the messages meant for you. And once you have selected, please head on over to either the description box or the pinned comment in the comments section down below to find the timestamps that will allow for you to skip ahead to your selected group. Okay, but if you are ready, then let us get started. Let's go. Hello, if you were drawn to group 1, bienvenidos to your reading. So it seems like in the next 14 days, something will be falling into place. Let us get a little bit more info. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles in the reversal. And to clarify, is the Seven of Hearts with a number 21, the stork. Storks make me think of delivery. So if you have been awaiting a package for a while now, or you were notified that a package was sent to the wrong address or it was misplaced, in the next 14 days you will be receiving news that this package was found, or that now it's being redirected to you. It's being sent to the right address. Or if you have been awaiting a refund, you will be receiving it. Because I do feel with the King of Pentacles that there could have been some kind of delay, or something is taking a while. And in the next 14 days, you will hear some kind of news or update, or you will be hearing back from someone that you were waiting to hear from, or receiving something that you were awaiting. Updates. I see you getting updates sometime in the next 14 days. Now, with the Seven of Hearts, this makes me think of the Seven of Cups in traditional tarot, which can speak about a multitude of options and choices. It is a card that can also indicate illusions and daydreams. So in the next 14 days, you may be faced with an array of options. And again, with the King of Pentacles being in the reverse, you could be taking a while to make up your mind, to select something, to make some kind of final decision. For whatever reason, I thought of a wedding. So I wonder if some of you are arranging a wedding, or maybe you are getting married pretty soon, and right now or in the next 14 days, you're picking out your wedding dress or your wedding suit, your bridesmaid dresses, and you're browsing, because that's the feeling I get with both of these cards, that you're simply browsing, you're considering, you're contemplating your options in the next 14 days. But you're not making any final decisions, or at the very least, you're not making any kind of purchases, right? So whether you're selecting a wedding dress or not, I do see you browsing or shopping for something perhaps, but you're not necessarily buying anything or making anything final by purchasing it or signing any kind of contract. I don't know why. Maybe you're waiting for something. Maybe you're saving up money, or maybe you have something on your mind, but you're waiting for maybe a clearance sale or for something to go on discount. Or some of you could even be waiting for some kind of sign, maybe a sign from the universe before you proceed with something, put your stamp on something, seal the deal per se. You could also be keeping something on the down low, something related to commitment, to work, career, and investment, or possibly even school, academia. And whatever it is that you're keeping on the down low, it's something that you are excited to announce very, very soon. It's something that you're excited to share with others or let others know. This feels like good news. So it seems like you have a good secret that you are planning to share at some point, but maybe not yet, maybe not in the next 14 days. This also makes me think of preparing. Maybe you're preparing an event, but it's a surprise event, or right now or in the next 14 days, and we're like, you're making preparations, you're planning, you're making arrangements, or you are arranging things, so that then you can make a big reveal, or so that then you can make the final decision. I keep hearing in my mind the expression final cut. Oh, you know what else? Maybe you have received news that you are on some kind of wait list, or you have received news that you're being considered for something, but a final decision hasn't been made yet. Or this makes me think of when, people audition, actors and actresses audition for roles, and their agent calls them up letting them know, hey, a final decision hasn't been made officially, but you've got the role. Or you're being considered for the role, but most likely you got it, but you can't say anything right now. So maybe you signed a non-disclosure agreement, or maybe you do know something. Maybe a secret was revealed to you that you can't forward, that you can't share right now until things are fully disclosed. Or you may be choosing to wait for something to become concrete before you share about it. So until it's a done deal, it's for certain, or it's tangible, you won't be talking or sharing about it, at least not in the next 14 days. And that has you feeling a bit giddy and excited for something to become official. That's the vibe I'm getting. So it feels like something is being considered, something is being prepared, but it hasn't become official. It isn't official yet, but it's heading in that direction, or it looks like it's heading in that direction. So I'm being reminded of what came through at the beginning, that something is falling into place. And so you yourself in the next 14 days might see how something indeed is falling into place, because you're receiving news, or you're seeing signs that things are moving ahead accordingly, or that some opportunity is opening up for you, or that things are getting resolved. As mentioned, if there were delays, or there were mistakes, or there was some kind of miscommunication in the past, those delays are being addressed. The miscommunication is being cleared out. The mistakes are getting fixed. And that is showing you, or confirming to you, that yes, things are starting to fall into place. But let me now pull out some divination dice. See what more info we get. Oh, by the way, this might get pretty loud, so if you're wearing headphones or earphones with the volume way up, I do recommend for you to lower down the volume, just to protect your eardrums as I do this. Interesting. Okay, so there we have it. I will only consider the divination dice that fell with an illustration facing up and that fell on the board inside a section. Okay, and so for money, we have the light bulb. I was going to say lightning bolt. And for love, we have the music note. So yeah, with the light bulb, again, I was going to say lightning bolt. So lightning bolts could be of significance. Maybe there have been an important sign or symbol that you have been seeing as some kind of confirmation or synchronicity. But the light bulb does make me think of a great idea, a good idea. So it does seem like you've been planning. Or maybe you have gotten an idea, or very soon you will be getting a couple of ideas with the Seven of Cups of investments that you can make, or how you can properly and wisely invest your money. Some of you could be considering making one or few investments in the near future, but again, I don't see you making anything concrete or making anything final within these next 14 days. It's more about planning and contemplating and formulating. You could also be receiving or getting ideas as to how to make money, how to make more money, how to create new sources of income. And again, you could be feeling pretty excited about this. And I do feel like something is already in the works, or maybe you will start developing something in the next 14 days. And again, you might not be sharing with others what it is that you are working on, because you might be working on this on the down low. But I do see you planning to share this or expose this or reveal this at some point. If you're business owners, you could be starting a new product line, or you could be planning for one in the next 14 days. Just as an example, let's say if you have a YouTube channel, you could be thinking about starting another YouTube channel, and you could be like kind of thinking about what kind of content you're going to post on this YouTube channel. You could even start creating the content that you're planning to post on this YouTube channel, or maybe even creating the new channel but not making it public in the next 14 days because you're planning to make it public at some later point in the near future. Some of you could even be thinking about partnering up with someone. This will be for a select few of you, or you might be thinking about collaborating with someone. But there is something here about money moves, or, thinking of ways on how to make more money, or how to bring in more money, how to make an opening for a new source of income. Some of you very soon could be revealing to maybe family or loved ones what you're planning on doing with the money that you have saved up, with the money that is yours. Yeah, and again, I see you being pretty excited about this. So yeah, because the Seven of Cups or the Seven of Hearts now is making me think of like, there's so many possibilities. There's so many things I can do with this money, with these earnings, with this income, with this salary, or there's so many ways that I can earn money and so forth. But with the music note falling on love, what I heard in my mind was somebody humming. Oh, and right now the song that I heard is, well, this is love. Well, this is love. So you could be feeling or being quite dreamy in the next 14 days. You could find yourself singing, humming, whistling your favorite tunes, especially love songs. You could be doing this subconsciously or unconsciously so. And if so, that could be a sign that maybe something is about to happen in the realms of love and relationships, especially in the realms of romantic love, because we do have this couple of storks in their little nest. So if you are in a healthy romantic relationship, in the next 14 days, you will find yourself thinking, daydreaming, and or dreaming a lot about your significant other. And if you ever find yourself humming a love song, that could be a really good indicator that all is well in your relationship, and that your significant other is also maybe in that very moment thinking, daydreaming, or possibly dreaming about you. But because we do have this King of Pentacles in the reverse, maybe some of you are attracting or calling in a King of Pentacles. And this will be true, or especially true, for those of you who are currently single and are wanting to attract a significant other, a partner. And the reason why this king is in the reverse is because they have yet to enter your life. So this is not to say that they are entering into your life in the next 14 days. It's more like you're starting to feel their energy, their presence. You're starting to feel that they're incoming, because they could be right now or in the next 14 days on their way to you. So very, very soon, maybe not exactly in the next 14 days, but very soon, a King of Pentacles may be appearing or making an appearance in your life. And this King of Pentacles could come in with a romantic offer. This King of Pentacles could be someone who you will enter into a romantic relationship with, but it could also be someone who you will end up entering into a platonic relationship, maybe even a business partnership. But whatever the case may be, I feel like this King of Pentacles will play a very significant role in your life. And the King of Pentacles is an earth sign, so Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. So this person could be an earth, sun, moon, or rising sign, or they could have a lot of earth placements in their chart, but they don't have to. It could be that this person will enter into your life during a earth sign season, so during Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus season, but it could also be that this person demonstrates a lot of like earth sign qualities. So this is someone who is very reliable, consistent, dependable. This is someone who can be quite practical, and they are very career oriented, or they are very hardworking. They're quite organized, or they see the importance of being organized, getting organized. And they could love planning. They could love making plans for the future, as well as talking about the future, like dreaming about the future. So this is someone who you could end up having a lot of conversations where you both talk about your future plans and kind of inspire each other and motivate each other to make a lot of your dreams a reality, create your dream life, for example. But I feel like this is someone who is also at this moment on their way to creating a really good reputation for themselves, as well as building something stable in their life, like a stable financial income, or they're at this moment working to secure wealth for themselves, or they are working towards building a company, a business, or developing their career. But this is someone who definitely has their own set of goals, aspirations, and dreams. So some of their goals, dreams might align with yours. And I took the time to talk about this person because, like I said, I feel that you might be sensing or picking up on their energy. And I also feel like because this is someone that you are attracting, you yourself are mirroring a lot of this person's energy. So what I just described could also be describing you, especially if it did resonate with you. And if you are in a committed, healthy romantic relationship, and while I was describing this King of Pentacles, you thought to yourself, hey, this sounds a lot like my significant other, then I could have been describing your significant other. And in the next 14 days, you and your significant other are going to spend a lot of quality time talking about your future together, your individual plans, your goals, your aspirations, and your dreams. But let me pull out some oracle cards. I also feel like a lot of you might have recently ordered some stuff. And these are stuff or things that you need or that you're kind of waiting for to get something started. So you're kind of like eagerly but patiently awaiting these things so that you can get started with something. But I get a very like cheeky energy from the King of Pentacles in the reversal. Ooh, and we have love or embarrassment with Libra, and the message, a rose blooms in the hot sun. The blooming rose symbolizes love. The beating sun symbolizes exposure and embarrassment. You may be feeling energized by opening your heart, or you may be contending with feelings of shame and vulnerability. Trust in yourself and listen to your intuition. So, yeah, I feel like love is in the horizon for you guys. The energy that is coming through with this love or embarrassment card is of someone falling in love or developing a crush. So I wonder if some of you are developing a crush in the next 14 days, but it more so feels like you're beginning or starting to open up to the idea of love, especially romantic love. That is, of course, if right now you are currently single. You may be watching or listening to a lot of pick a card or general readings about love, your next romantic relationship, or your future spouse. And if so, you may find that the King of Pentacles, blue roses, or music shows up or is brought up in every reading. And if it is, this could be serving as a confirmation of sorts. That yes, they are indeed talking about this person, your person. If you're currently in a committed, loving, romantic relationship, then in the next 14 days, you could be thinking about romancing your partner, or you could be thinking about opening up to your partner in a new intimate way. And intimate doesn't necessarily have to pertain to like physical intimacy. This could be about emotional intimacy. I see some of you kind of craving or longing for romance. Maybe some of you are thinking about asking your romantic partner to do something romantic with you, but if that's not something that you normally do with your romantic partner, then you might be hesitating a bit because you normally don't ask these things, or you normally don't do these things, so you might be worried about how your romantic partner might take to this request. But I feel like you're being encouraged to go for it, right? Because I get a very cheeky but also giddy energy. So who knows? Maybe this is something that your romantic partner has also been kind of craving, or has also been thinking about. Because we do have Libra here, which is the scale. So this could be something that is quite mutual and reciprocal. So my advice is to go for it. Maybe initiate by making a love gesture to your romantic partner, like handing them or giving them a rose or a flower out of the blue, or being pretty cheeky with them, flirting with them, complimenting them, that sort of thing. And I feel like they will love it. I think that they will love it, and maybe at first they will be taken a little aback by it if they're not used to that, but I think that they will roll with it, and they will definitely enjoy it and enjoy it with you. Right? And if your partner is initiating this kind of interaction with you, I hope that you feel comfortable with it enough to reciprocate, because this is coming from a very pure and sincere space, and I feel like it's taking a lot from your partner to actually initiate this kind of interaction. Because again, this might be something that they normally don't do, or not very used to, or they're, working to be more open about. Yeah, and embarrassment is making me think of embracing the cringe. Embrace the cringe. You don't have to be all like put together all of the time. The King of Pentacles can be very businesslike and practical, but with the Seven of Cups being here, you can allow yourself to be daydreamy and be gooey and mushy and cheeky if you'd like. It's okay for you to love and romance. It is okay for you to have dreams and to dream big. You are not silly or cheesy for having fantasies and wishes and your aspirations. Do not have to be wishful thinking. If others think you are being cheesy for believing and trusting in something beautiful, then let them. At least you have dreams and a desire to make them come true. If that makes you cringe to others, then so what? So yeah, embrace that so-called cringy aspect of yourself, or cheesy aspect, and bask in it. We have the sun here in the background. Bask in it, because you might end up feeling good, really good at the end of it. And embracing it might help awaken something within you, like a spark, passion, ambition, or motivation. Yeah, but also you're being advised to trust in yourself and listen to your intuition throughout this time. Yeah, because I feel like you will be receiving a lot of ideas, and maybe not all of the ideas that you're receiving might be good ones, because sometimes, not all ideas are good. Or maybe They don't start off good, but they could get better if they're correctly executed or they're improved upon later down the road. But, you know, if you do end up getting a lot of ideas, take the time to really tune in to your intuition to assess which ideas to go with. Let your intuition guide you, in other words. If you're having trouble deciding where to start or what to pick, what to choose. Yeah, maybe some of you are having trouble choosing what to work on, what to focus on, because a lot is coming through. You're eager and excited to work on many, many things. Yeah, and if you've worked on ideas in the past and it didn't work out as you expected, embrace that as well. Like, there's so many creators out there, artists, scientists, who had several what they call failed projects. But that didn't stop them from continuing creating and achieving major breakthroughs in their life, so embrace it. Don't let something that didn't turn out perfect keep you from producing or creating something worthwhile. Or don't let it bring you down, and don't let it rain on your parade. Blue roses, blue flowers, or the color blue could be of significance. But no, what was it going to do? Oh yeah, I'm going to pull out one more card. Also, someone could be, maybe someone in the next 14 days could be handing you, gifting you a rose. As mentioned, if you're in a romantic relationship, this could be your significant other. Or if you are parents, it could be one of your children. But if you're single, this could be maybe a romantic suitor, someone who admires you. And maybe this is something that you're keeping on the down low, that you're keeping to yourself. Because I do see some of you keeping a very good, pleasant experience to yourself, because you will see it as quite precious. And maybe for a while you might not want to share it with others, but just keep it to yourself. Yeah, and if it's not in the next 14 days, I feel like this might be something that will be occurring in the near future. But we have abundance. It's on its way. As much as you allow, be open to receiving. Yeah, you are attracting abundance into your life. Maybe an idea that you're getting in the next 14 days will bring you a lot of abundance. It feels like some of you are planning on multiplying your money, your income, and whatever you're planning, it's going to work for you. You will end up multiplying the fruits of your labor, your blessings. So just be open to receiving. And be willing to take action when needed. Beautiful. Orange trees or fruit trees could be of significance. Some of you might really love the scent of orange blossoms. I personally do. White hair, white silver hair could be of significance. This also made me think of a cauldron. Cauldrons could be an important sign or symbol, as well as like sun imagery, because we do have two suns here. Someone could be a Libra or Earth sun sign. I'm also getting Pisces or water signs, which are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Yeah, look, the ladder here is making me think of climbing up. You're definitely making some kind of progress, or very soon you will be. Some of you could be climbing up the corporate ladder. You could be ascending in your career, in your profession, in your line of work. But you're definitely making progress when it comes to your finances. And the tree here makes me think of stability. Trees also often make me think of generational wealth, legacy. So some of you could be building a legacy, maybe without you even realizing or knowing it. You could already be on your way to creating some kind of beautiful legacy. The color yellow could also be of significance. Maybe someone has a blue or yellow aura, or an aura whose colors are predominantly blue or yellow, or pinkish. Or these could be chakras that will be very active in the next 14 days. So dark blue or indigo is associated with the third eye, I believe. Light blue is associated with the throat chakra. Purple is associated with the crown chakra. And yellow is associated with the solar plexus chakra, and the color orange is associated with the sacral chakra. And then we do have pink here, which is associated with the higher heart chakra. So you could be working with all of these or one of these or a couple of these energy centers, or activating them, cleansing them, clearing them. But I do see like these energy centers will be pretty healthy, pretty active and healthy, balanced throughout the next 14 days. Beautiful. Because the sacral chakra is all about creation, creativity, sensuality, sexuality, which fuels creative energy. The third eye is about vision, right? So that makes me think of like planning for the future, seeing what you can create, which I feel like you will be using your imagination and daydreaming quite a bit in the next 14 days. Some of you could even be receiving downloads in the form of images in your mind's eye of what you are creating, or what you're capable of creating, what's in store in your future, or what kind of future timeline you can align with. And also you could be receiving or getting information or downloads of how you can align with certain future timelines, how you can take steps, or what steps you need to take or you can take to start creating that which you see in your mind's eye, that which you envision or see yourself doing in the near future. But also my advice to you is don't get so caught up in the future, because remember, you're in the present for a reason, because this is where you begin. This is where you start creating. So also focus on the present and know that you can start creating today, now. And then the solar plexus chakra is about your confidence, your self-assuredness, your self-image. So I do see you having a healthy self-image in the next 14 days. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. And then the higher heart chakra is the energy center that aligns us with truth, love, and compassion. And I often think of the higher heart chakra as aligning us with our inner child as well as with our innermost being. So yeah, you're definitely tuning in to your intuition in the next 14 days. But very beautiful energy. The number 21 could be of significance. If it happens to be the 21st of the month in the next 14 days, that specific day could be a significance. Maybe some of you were born on the 21st on the month of July, and this could be serving as a confirmation. But if not, don't worry about it. It could just be that these numbers may be of significance. The number 7, 21, or 2, 1, and 7. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. But before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides and any other being of light who came through for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of next 14 days. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you were drawn to group 2, bienvenidos to your reading. So the message or expression rest assured came to mind when meditating on the energy of this group. So in the next 14 days, you could be receiving some kind of reassurance that is going to ease your mind, ease any worries or concerns that you might have. Okay, but let's get started. That was quick. So we have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is associated with air signs, which will be Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And to clarify, okay, so 2 cards flew out together, and we have the 3 of Clubs, number 5, the Tree, as well as the 9 of Diamonds with number 39, the Heart. Okay, so personally, I think of the 3 of Clubs as the 3 of Wands, and the 9 of Diamonds as the 9 of Pentacles. Ooh, so in the next 14 days, I see you taking charge. So you could be taking on a leadership role, or be given the position of a leader. You may be overseeing a team or a project. But even if you aren't, you are still coming through as a leader, as someone who is taking charge, making decisions. I wonder if you are self-employed or if you run your own business, because that's kind of the vibe I get with the 9 of Diamonds and the 3 of Clubs. And if you are, or if you do, it seems like in the next 14 days, you will be leading your business with grace. You could be making important executive decisions when it comes to your work profession or business. But what I'm seeing in my mind is someone at the forefront. It's like in the next 14 days, you're the one making moves, you're the one calling the shots. And I also see you being in the lead. I get a strong feeling of independence, self-sufficiency. So in the next 14 days, you will definitely be attending to your matters. Again, it's you being at the forefront. And because I did speak about you receiving some form of reassurance, I wonder if there is something that has been worrying and or concerning you. And maybe you have been waiting for assistance or you have been waiting on others. And if so, it seems like in the next 14 days, you're taking action. You're actively looking for solutions. If you need to communicate with someone in order to, let's say, address an issue or fix an issue, you're not waiting for this person to reach out to you. Instead, you're the one doing the reaching out, right? Because in my mind, I keep seeing someone walking with purpose to places, moving from one place to another, making calls. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Like you're making calls. You're doing what it is that you need to do in order to get stuff done. So I don't see you waiting around for anybody in the next 14 days. Nor are you slowing down or slowing things down because someone is, let's say, unavailable. Like you're not allowing for minor inconveniences to stop you or to delay you. You're finding the way through. And if you can't go through, you're finding the way around. Because there's one specific example that is coming to mind, and it might not apply to everybody, so it might just be an example for some to help illustrate the energy here, is of an employer or a business owner whose assistant is unavailable for the next, let's say, 14 days. And instead of the business owner losing their head over the fact that they no longer have their assistant, they get to working. It's this feeling of, I'm not going to close shop because Susie isn't here today to attend the cashier. No, because I can attend to the cashier register. I can do that. And that's that. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, especially with the Queen of Swords, which makes me think of somebody who is not throwing in the towel before they even did everything that they could, everything that was in their hands to get something done, find a solution to a problem, fix an issue, or get something working, get something going. So in the next 14 days, you could be quite open to taking on challenges, or you're not running away from challenges. Instead, you're facing them head on. You're saying, okay, let me analyze you. Let me take a good look at you from all angles and figure a way to overcome you or to work with you. But I'm definitely not going to surrender to you, not without a fight first. So that's the vibe I get from the Queen of Swords. And with the 3 of Wands, I feel like in the next 14 days, you can bet that you will learn a lot from you deciding to face challenges, solve problems, or maneuver your way through minor inconveniences. And actually, if you decide to look at challenges as a way to learn, as a way to grow, you might end up not experiencing any minor inconveniences. What could be minor inconveniences might not end up feeling that way to you. Instead, they could end up feeling like a task that popped out of nowhere and then you just had to get it done and over with, and that's that. But in the next 14 days, you could be achieving or experiencing some kind of breakthrough, because I do see you learning something. So maybe through you trying to solve a problem, you end up finding a solution to something else, maybe to a problem you've been dealing with for a while, or you end up cracking some kind of code, you end up discovering something totally new that could help facilitate things for you down the road. But seeing the heart here made me think that in the next 14 days, or for the majority of the next 14 days, your heart will be in it, meaning that you will be dedicated to whatever it is that you end up focusing on, working on, or investing time in. And that is why you are overcoming. That is why you are achieving one or more breakthroughs. That's why you are finding solutions and are making things happen, because your heart is in it. And I did already mention this, but I do feel like in the next 14 days, a lot of you could be focusing on how you could expand upon something. So again, if you have a business, you could be working towards expanding your business. Some of you could be doing some kind of paperwork, or you could be looking into the legalities of something. As an example, and this is just an example, it's making me think of someone who owns a physical store and they're thinking of expanding their physical store. And so they could be looking into what the requirements are in order to do that. Or a business owner could be looking into how to better market their business to double or increase sales. Or they could be working on building a clientele. So several of you will find yourselves pretty occupied with growing your business, clientele, revenue, while others of you will be busy managing a larger clientele base, large orders, high amounts of requests, high demands, and or an increase in both revenue and public interest or notice. The word facilitate is coming to mind. So I see a lot of you also focusing on finding ways, methods, systems that are intended to facilitate things, improve workflow, work efficiency, or just make things a lot easier for you. But let me pull out some divination dice to get more info. And I do recommend that if you're wearing headphones or earphones with the volume way up, that you either lower down the volume or remove your headphones or earphones for this part of the reading to protect your eardrums, because it might get pretty loud. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I will only be considering the dice that fell on the board with an illustration facing up and inside a section. So we have the cups that fell right on love, and the fireworks that fell right in between love and tasks. So these cups are meant to represent a makeshift telephone, you know, the two cups that are connected by a string. So there definitely will be a lot of communication, especially with the Queen of Swords being here, because as mentioned, the Queen of Swords is an air sign, and the element of air is associated with communication, thinking, the mind. So as I said earlier, you could be making a lot of calls, or you could be making a couple of important calls. If it's not calls, like phone calls, it could be that you will be sending a lot of business email, work emails, professional emails. But because this fell right on love, and then we do have the Three of Wands here, you could be communicating a lot with someone who is at a physical distance from you. So if you are in a long distance relationship, in the next 14 days, I do see you communicating a lot with your significant other. But for others of you, this could be like a relative, a friend, or maybe someone who you've met online, who you're just chatting with throughout the next 14 days. Because we do have the fireworks here, which makes me think of like sparks flying. So if you are on like dating sites or apps, is that a thing? You could be meeting someone on there and hitting it off, enough to engage with them in conversation. Because I do see you finding someone very intellectually stimulating, very engaging, very entertaining as well. And you know what? I wonder if some of you have like an important business meeting or maybe an important interview, because I do see you hitting it off with someone who your first encounter with them will be in a professional setting. Huh. If you're an employer who has been looking to employ somebody and up until now you haven't found a good candidate, I feel like in the next 14 days you will. You will end up interviewing somebody who you're just going to love. Like right away you will know that this person is the one for the role, the one for the job. It's also making me think of, people who cast actors or actresses for specific roles and how they could see dozens and dozens of people and still not feel inclined to select any one of them until somebody walks in and just like that, sparks fly, something clicks. They know, hey, they're the one. I don't need to look at any more auditions. I've made up my mind. I want them for the role. Are they available? So something like that could be happening. And if you are the one going in for like an audition or you're going in for an interview, then you could be the one who will take an employer, an interviewer, a talent agent by surprise. And so you could end up being hired, selected, casted right on the spot. But one thing is for sure, either your wit, intelligence, quick thinking, or your style of communication could be the very thing that will have you standing out from the crowd or will garner you positive attention. It could also be your problem-solving skills or the way that you keep your cool, keep your poise, and your wit about you during stressful situations or under pressure. With the tree here, it's making me think of the expression a breath of fresh air. It's like for someone, you will be like a breath of fresh air. There's something very different about you, very uniquely different about you. And whatever this is, I feel it's something that you don't even put a lot of effort into. It's something that just comes very naturally to you. So this thing that makes you stand out could be something that maybe you're not even aware that you have, or you're not even aware that you do. But whatever it is, others find it very appealing and very charming. The heart here makes me think of authenticity. So it could be your authenticity that makes you stand out from the crowd in a good way, in a positive way. Yeah, so if your profession falls in the field of communication, or if your line of work involves you speaking in public or speaking to others, sharing your thoughts, sharing your ideas, things are going to fare pretty well at work or when it comes to your career, your profession, because people will be loving either your delivery or your style of communication, or they will be loving what it is that you're sharing. If it's your ideas, your thoughts, they will be loving your ideas and our thoughts. If you're someone who makes a lot of jokes, they will be loving your jokes. Or there will be something about your voice that is really going to leave a positive impression on others. You could be receiving a lot of compliments about your voice. Yeah, expect your words to really touch the hearts of people. The cups also represent telepathy. So in the next 14 days, you could be experiencing telepathy, especially with those who you have a strong emotional connection or bond with. And Please remember that you can receive telepathic messages from someone who is miles and miles away from you. You could have a telepathic and psychic connection with someone who you are not in contact at all with or never made physical contact with. So just keep that in mind, okay? Because I do feel like in the next 14 days, you are going to be telepathically communicating with or receiving telepathic messages from someone who possibly at this moment is at a physical distance from you or who you are not in physical contact with. And again, this would be someone who you either have a emotional, psychic, or soul spiritual connection with. And you know, with fireworks kind of also having fallen out on tasks, this makes me feel that in the next 14 days, or for the majority of the next 14 days, things will be easy breezy for you. Like I said, what might to others feel like minor inconveniences, to you, it will feel like nothing. They will be like something that you just needed to check off your to-do list, and you did so without any hiccups, without any problem. And this also makes me think of you going through a to-do list pretty quickly, like bam, 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 one after the other. No biggie, no problem. So you're on a roll in the next 14 days. It feels like you're on your A game. Or it could just be that you're dedicating the next 14 days to getting stuff done. Maybe you have imposed yourself like a deadline or like a window of time to get stuff done or to get certain things in order or get organized or something along those lines. And if you do need to make a phone call or talk to somebody, just know that the conversation between you and whoever it is that you need to talk to get something done or get something processed or fixed or whatnot, it is going to go well. The expression that came to mind is a successful conversation. So you will have a successful conversation in the next 14 days. Yeah, because now what I heard in my mind is someone going, well, that went well, but not in a sarcastic way, more like in a triumphant way. Like, yeah, well, that went well. Better than I expected. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I thought of someone needing to call an airline to fix an issue. So I don't know if that happens to be your case, just know that things are going to go well. The issue is going to get fixed or the problem will be solved. Okay, but let's see. We have kinship with Cancer and spirits. The key phrase, multiple generations gather around the table, and the message, in your mind's eye, imagine your ancestors welcoming you to the table with acceptance. Whether or not your actual family provides a feeling of belonging, draw strength from your visualization of emotional support and unconditional love. And we also have confidence or despondency with Capricorn in emotion, and the message, step onto the forest path. If you are able to embrace confidence, stand tall with a sense of inner strength as you step into the unknown. The opposite feeling is one of ongoing gloom and low motivation that stems from a self-critical gaze. Cultivate your trust in yourself as you explore new paths. Yeah, so I feel like you're embracing confidence this month. Even when the solution might not be clear at times, that's not deterring you from facing the problem. So in the next 14 days, you're standing tall. Yeah, you're definitely standing tall with your head held high, with the willingness to overcome, to succeed, to learn, to grow, and better. The illustration and the kinship here is making me think of connection. So yeah, you could be connecting with family members, maybe family members that are at a distance from you, that you haven't seen in a while. But I also see you receiving a lot of love via communication. So someone could be sending you a loving text, loving messages, a loving email, maybe even a loving letter. But, you know, it could also be that in the next 14 days, you will be receiving a lot of channeled messages from loved ones who are on the other side, maybe ancestors. So you could be hearing from a loved one who is currently on the other side. And this loved one may be a person or someone who was incarnated as a human being, or it could be an animal companion. Maybe some of you will be going to a medium, someone who does connect with loved ones who have passed on or does channel messages from them to receive a direct message from a loved one. Because, you know, this illustration in the kinship card is making me think of how do you say it? Seance? If you are someone who channels messages for others, whether that be messages coming from loved ones who are on the other side or messages from spirit or from the universe, your messages are really going to resonate with those who you are channeling for, and it's really going to touch people's hearts. It's going to have a positive impact. I also see that the messages you are either channeling, sharing, or delivering will be very healing to others or to a collective. You could be the one helping someone or others find closure. Yeah, so I feel like in the next 14 days, a lot of you will receive reassurance or validation that what you do is very meaningful and that it does help. It does help others, or that it matters. And if you have a social media presence, if you share your wisdom, your thoughts online, if you share messages online, in the next 14 days, your messages, your content, it's going to reach new people, or it's going to reach a larger audience. I see your message being spread far and wide, or your messages reaching farther than they normally or usually do. All of a sudden, I felt called to encourage you guys to have confidence in yourselves. Be confident in yourself. Be confident in who you are and in what you do. But we also have, there is no right or wrong way to live your life. Be easy on yourself. Yeah, so if you have been pretty hard on yourself about how you've been going about things, or about the speed of things, you're being advised to be easy on yourself. Cut yourself some slack, because you're doing better than you think you are. You are definitely doing a lot better than you think you are. So if you often, or you tend to compare yourself to others, or if at times you think that others are doing better than you, or that you're doing worse than others, you're being let know to first of all, stop comparing yourself, especially if it's bringing you down, or if comparing yourself results in you bringing yourself down. And if you saw everything that you've been through from an objective perspective, if you saw your journey from a higher perspective, you might end up taking your words back. Because I assure you, you will be amazed at yourself, or of yourself. You might even end up wondering, whoa, how did I manage that? The you right now will end up shaking in their boots, just looking at what your past self had to go through and overcome with the resources and tools that they had available to them. Because to you right now, it might seem like an impossible feat, but to your past self, it wasn't. Because you're here now, which means that your past self overcame that challenge. So give yourself a little bit of grace and even respect, man. You know, right now you might think you're not doing such a great job, but give yourself some time, and I don't know, 1, 2, 3 years from now, you might look back and think, whoa, I did that. I achieved that. I overcame that. I managed to traverse that plot of land without clear instructions of how to do so. Crazy. I'm pretty badass. So yeah, give yourself some grace, and just know, if you often wonder whether you are like connected to your intuition, whether you are following your intuition, you are. you are quite connected to your intuition. So trusting yourself a little bit more. You've got this. You're managing, you're doing just fine. It might not feel so like it all the time. I get it. But you're doing just fine. Or you will be doing just fine in the next 14 days. That's for sure. Something very specific came to mind, and this, I will give a trigger warning because this might be triggering for some people, so just caution. For those of you who have a loved one who passed on from a heart failure or had a heart issue or heart problem, this is the person who you might end up receiving messages, channeled messages from sometime in the next 14 days, especially if this is someone that you have been wanting to speak to, communicate, or connect with, or receive a message from them, or you have some kind of unfinished business with. Like, for example, you didn't get to have like closure with them. You will be hearing from them at some point in the next 14 days. Yes, but these are all but let's see, things I want to point out. Hearts, heart-shaped things could be of significance. Felines, canines, trees could also be of significance. You could be visiting or spending time somewhere where there's a lot of trees, like near a grove or an orchard. Let's see, the zodiac signs Cancer, Capricorn, and air signs could be of significance. And the numbers 5 and 39, or 5, 3, and 9 could be of significance as well. But these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. And a huge thank you to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides, as well as any other being of light that came through, for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you were drawn to group 3, bienvenidos to your reading. So the messages: trust in the process, trust in your intuition, we are here to protect you, and we are here to guide you, came to mind or came through when meditating on the energy of this group. Okay, but let us get started. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords, and I like how it fell right in between play and work, because the Knight of Swords is being represented by a husky, which are known to be very playful, full of energy, as well as hardworking, or at least huskies who are trained to pull sleighs seem, at least to me, quite hardworking. But the Knight of Swords is an air sign, so that will be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So you could be an air, sun, moon, or rising sign, or have a lot of air placements in your natal chart, or someone who is an air sign may be playing a significant role in your life throughout or at some point in the next 14 days. But let me pull out the clarifier. Huskies could be of significance. They could be your spirit animal, power animal. Maybe some of you are the happy and proud human buddy or caretaker of a husky or 2 or more. But the husky being a canine is also reminding me of the year of the dog. So some of you could have been born in the year of the dog, or someone who was born in the year of the dog could be playing a significant role in your life. And we have the 10 of Hearts with number 7, the bouquet. This is beautiful. So there's such a beautiful, playful, happy energy coming through here. So in the next 14 days, you will find yourself with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. With the bouquet here, it made me think of celebrations. So you could be anticipating a celebration, an event, a party, or at this moment or at some point in the next 14 days, you could be organizing an event or participating in the organization of a special event. Ooh, with the 10 of Cups, I just thought of an engagement party or maybe an event such as a proposal. So if you are planning to propose to someone or you have been meaning to, then in the next 14 days, you could be planning a beautiful, memorable proposal. For whatever reason, maybe because the Knight of Swords is depicted as being quite young or youthful, I was reminded of prom or of like a school dance. So I don't know if there's any of you watching who is currently in college and there's some kind of school events coming up where it's kind of expected for you to ask somebody out, then you could be arranging a nice and cute event to ask someone out. Or if you are a parent, you could be helping your child plan a nice event for maybe their friend or for their crush, something along those lines. But this energy is very cute, very innocent and playful. And with the 10 of Cups, this does make me think that there's going to be some happy ending. The 10 of Cups is known as the happy ending or happily ever after card. So whether you're planning an event, whether you're planning to ask somebody out or propose to someone, or if you are attending an event, know that the outcome is going to be a beautiful one. You will end up having a really good time and being or feeling quite pleased with how everything turned out or unfolded. We do have the number 7 here, which makes me think of the 7th major arcana of the tarot, which is the Chariot card. And that is a card that speaks about speed, momentum, and progress. So with the Knight of Swords being here, you are taking action in the next 14 days. The Knight of Swords is all about seizing the moment. And with the energy of the Chariot coming through as well, you're not holding back in the next 14 days. You're living your life to the fullest and taking every chance you get to celebrate life, to celebrate your life, to celebrate your loved ones, the people who have been and are currently part of your life. You could be showing appreciation to those who you feel an immense sense of gratitude towards. You know, if you are, for example, married, you could be coming home with a little gift for your spouse. If you have children, the very same thing. You could even be maybe planning an event, a nice event for your children, like a nice outing, for example. Some of you could be planning a day at the beach or a nice little picnic. But I do see you going out, spending time outside, spending quality time with those who you love and you love spending time with. And I also see you making sure that you are spending time doing that which emotionally fulfills you, that which makes you all giddy and excited about life, about living, about getting the opportunity to do that very thing. You know, it makes me think of someone who is visiting places just to witness beautiful sceneries, because witnessing these beautiful sceneries makes them so happy about being alive and so happy and grateful for the opportunity of being able to see these beautiful sceneries. You know, whenever I see huskies, their joy and their enthusiasm is so contagious. And that's what I'm getting from you guys in the next 14 days. Like your joy, your eagerness to play or to explore or to have fun is going to be quite contagious. And huskies are known to be very silly and goofy and quite childish, I would say. So in the next 14 days, you will be embracing your childlike wonder, and you could allow yourself to be a bit childish, I'm thinking of something like throwing a cute tantrum, something quite tamed, not so overdone. Because the Ten of Cups does make me think of maturity. So I don't see this as someone being childish in the form of being completely and utterly unreasonable, difficult to communicate with, or utterly irresponsible. That's not at all the vibe I'm getting. It's more like being silly, being goofy, showing a bit more of your emotions, being quite expressive, and speaking or communicating with less of a filter. Yeah, and I especially see you behaving this way with people who you are very familiar with and feel very comfortable with. People who possibly have seen this aspect of you before and are possibly quite familiar with it or used to it to the point where they recognize it. I don't know if you saw, but there's a little ant on my desk where I record. But ants make me think of collaboration and working together with others. So with the Ten of Cups, I definitely do see you spending time with the community, spending time with your family, with friends who feel like family to you, who feel like your tribe, like your soul family. And there was an expression that was coming to mind at some point, which I totally forgot to mention, which was life of the party. So in the next 14 days, you could find yourself being the life of the party. Wherever you're going, whatever environments you're stepping into, you're bringing a sense of joy, play, and wonder into them. So I see people really loving your energy in the next 14 days and enjoying being in your presence, enjoying spending time with you. Or I see people thinking to themselves after they have spent some time with you, whoa, that was a really good time. I'm so glad I went to the event because group 3 was there, or I'm so glad I decided to meet up with group 3 because I just had a really good time. And I do feel that this will be your energy, but if you're not really resonating with this energy, then this could be the energy of someone that you will be spending a lot of time with throughout the next 14 days. This could be a family member, or again, someone who feels like family to you. But oh yes, I want to work with divination dice now. So for this part of the reading, I do recommend that if you're wearing headphones or earphones with the volume way up, that you either turn down your volume or remove your headphones or earphones as I draw out the divination dice, just to protect your eardrums, because it could end up getting pretty loud and noisy. Okay, so I will start in 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I will only be considering the dice that fell with an illustration facing up and that fell on the board inside of a section. And I will be placing the rest into the little drawstring bag. Okay, so we have the megaphone that fell right on the money section, as well as the ladder that fell right on tasks. Ooh, so with the megaphone, in the next 14 days, you could be making an announcement about a successful financial endeavor or about a money breakthrough. So you could be sharing news that you've either received a pay raise, or that you've met some kind of money goal. Because we do have the Ten of Cups here, which speaks of community. If you have been trying to collect money for like a fundraiser at some point in the next 14 days, I do see you making an announcement that you've reached the goal, that you have collected the money that you've intended. Yeah, so I do see you celebrating the fact that a fundraiser was a success, or that now you have the money to maybe help a community or to help somebody, or you have the money to provide for some kind of cause or charity. But I'm also seeing something like someone announcing that they just launched a business, or that they just processed their first order. This could also be something like someone announcing that something has been sold out. Others of you may be announcing that you've got a job, or that a business is up and running, that you're earning more, or that business is going well, or that you've recently closed a major deal, or you got offered a commission, or you just received some kind of payment. Some of you could even be sharing the news that you were tipped very well, or that you've received an offer for a brand deal, for example, or for a sponsorship, perhaps, or some kind of important business or creative collaboration. Because, yeah, the bouquet is making me think of celebrating. So I do see you sharing good news. I do see you celebrating some kind of victory, triumph, or opportunity or breakthrough sometime in the next 14 days. And you're celebrating these news with a community, with your family, or with your loved ones. Then we have the ladder here with tasks. And because we do have the Knight of Swords here, if you are receiving an opportunity, I see you taking this opportunity, because the Knight of Swords is about seizing the moment. And so I don't see you hesitating or doubting whether this is a good opportunity or not. I simply see you taking it on. For some, it sort of feels like this is an opportunity that maybe you've been waiting for, or this is an offer that you knew from the very start that if it was ever extended to you, you would immediately take it. And the fact that now it's being extended to you, it feels like a major victory, or like a good sign. That's another feeling I'm getting here with the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Cups, that you're receiving some kind of positive or good sign or good omen in the next 14 days. A sort of confirmation that you've been waiting for. And it could be through an offer that is being extended to you, or through some kind of opportunity. Maybe opportunity to apply somewhere, or to showcase your talents, your skills, or to promote your business if you are a business owner, or to try something out, try something new, try your luck at something, is the feeling I'm getting. Because you're definitely taking a leap of faith at some point in the next 14 days, or so it feels like. It's like you're testing your luck, but this doesn't feel risky. Although the Knight of Swords can sometimes speak about impulsivity, I'm not really getting a risky factor in the sense of you doing something dangerous, but more like you taking a risk in the sense of, even though nothing is guaranteed, you're still giving it a go. As an example, this could be a situation like someone entering a raffle, and they're risking not winning, but that doesn't matter, because the excitement of just entering this raffle and being a part of it and having that probability or likelihood of actually winning is so exciting. It's so worth it. Because I'm seeing so much hope here with the Ten of Cups. So another thing I'm seeing is that in the next 14 days, you're increasing your odds. Your odds of winning, your odds of succeeding, your odds of having a beautiful experience, your odds of experiencing something new and wonderful, your odds of being seen by people who could end up extending you an opportunity and a great offer, or coming in contact with people who you could end up forming a beautiful relationship with. Right? Because I do see you going out. So if you are someone who tends to stay at home or is more of a homebody, then in the next 14 days, you could find yourself spending more time outside. And this will increase the likelihood or the possibility of you meeting certain people, or coming into union or contact with certain people that maybe you've been needing to meet, or were intended to meet or come in contact with in this lifetime. And of course, with the Ten of Cups here in the bouquet, these will be people that you will end up resonating with, that will bring some kind of joy, wonder, and or beauty into your life, into your world, and or you to them. But we do have the ladder here with tasks, and because I did say you will have a lot of energy, you definitely will have the energy to get stuff done throughout the next 14 days. And you could experience something like a burst of energy, And when you experience this burst of energy, that's when you will find yourself getting a lot of stuff done in a short amount of time. Because with the ladder here, it's making me think of progress, right? So I do see you checking a lot of stuff off of your to-do list if you have quite a few things on that list. A lot of the things that you've been putting on hold or kind of procrastinating on, I do see you attending to them in the next 14 days. Especially things that you were hesitant to do because it did require some level of confidence from you, or maybe even audacity. Yeah, because the Knight of Swords can be quite audacious. So let's say that you've been meaning to start applying for jobs, but you've been procrastinating on writing your resume because you were kind of intimidated, or you were a bit scared or nervous of getting back into the work field or just writing down your resume. And sometime in the next 14 days, you get not only a burst of energy, but also a burst of confidence to type out that resume, fill that application, and send it. So whatever it is that held yourself from doing because you were either intimidated by the idea of doing that very thing, or like negative thinking or pessimism was keeping you from doing that very thing, that's the very thing I see you taking action towards at some point throughout the next 14 days. And with the ladder here, it feels like whatever this is, if this is resonating with you, it is something that once you get it done, you would have made a lot of progress. The Knight of Swords is making me think of the expression, all you need to do is start. Like the first step sometimes feels the hardest to take, but once you take that first step, then you will be good to go, or you're good to go. Yeah, some of you might be taking some kind of first step at some point in the next 14 days, and you taking this step drastically increases the likelihood of you crossing some kind of finish line, like completing something or seeing something through. Because the number 10 is all about endings and completion. Or it could be something like you take a first step, and then once you do, you kind of gain this momentum. And you not only take a first step, but a second step and a third step. And you keep on going and you keep on going until you finish, until you complete a task, a project, or some kind of process. Yeah, because the Chariot card also speaks of success and victory. So I see you feeling and being quite proud of yourself for getting something done, or feeling quite proud and happy about the fact that you were able to get something done. That once you gained the courage to do something or get started, you found that you could do that very thing. That either it was easier than you expected, or that you were more capable than you were thinking yourself to be, which is giving you a little boost of confidence at the end of it. So quite a nice energy. And of course, the example that I gave about the resume or applying for jobs was just an example. It could be the case for some of you, but it was just an example to help illustrate the energy here, because this could be pertaining to anything. Anything that you were putting on hold, procrastinating on, or feeling a bit intimidated by. But now let me pull out some oracle cards to get any more info. And we have ease with Taurus and Spirit, and the message, an afternoon spent resting and reclining. Know when to take a step back. Your body, mind, and spirit may need some time to restore. Is there a situation in your life that might ease if you reduce the pressure and practice more acceptance? Ease made me think of easing up a little bit on putting too much pressure on yourself to succeed or to be perfect or do things perfectly. And it's also making me think of being a little bit more receptive and open to possibilities. Being a little bit more positive and optimistic, because we do have the Sun here, and the Sun card in the tarot speaks of optimism and positivity. It's also a card that speaks of success, joy, happiness, as well as childlike wonder or children. So as mentioned, I do see you embracing your childlike wonder, allowing yourself to be playful, as well as allowing yourself to ease up, to just enjoy life. Maybe take life one day at a time, as well as take opportunities as they come. Right? This is not to say that you need to say yes to every opportunity that comes your way, because it's good to be selective and to also discern between what is a good opportunity for you and what is not. But I think you're also being advised to embrace whatever comes your way with an open mind, and to not let things such as fears, insecurities, or doubt keep you from taking opportunities that could increase the likelihood of you experiencing something great, learning something new, or challenging yourself in a positive and healthy way. I know not everything might go as expected, but just because not everything might go as expected means that you should keep yourself from trying, right? Or at least that's the advice or the message that is coming through in this reading. Once we let fear keep us from trying, adventuring, and or having fun, that's when we have placed a chain around our freedom. So let fear guide you in a way that benefits you and keeps you safe from harm's way. But be very careful to not misuse fear as an excuse to keep yourself from living. So at some point in the next 14 days, you could be taking it quite easy, taking some time to unwind in the evenings or afternoon. I did mention that some of you could be going on a picnic, and I kind of am seeing that in the illustration of the ease card. If you have animal companions, I see you spending quality time with your animal companions. I do see you spending time outside in nature and relaxing. If you're someone who is quite addicted to your phone, or you're often on social media, sometime in the next 14 days, you could feel called to do a social media detox, or you will find yourself spending less time on your phone or in front of a screen and not feeling anxious, because ease is making me think of the word easier. It's like you're finding it easier to be without your phone, or finding it easier to not need to validate your experience by posting it online or sharing about it online. I see you prioritizing being in the present and making memories with those who are in the present with you. But we have released the need to figure out your life purpose. Every step you take will help your purpose find you. Yeah, so you could be easing up on needing to find your life purpose in the next 14 days. You could be feeling quite comfortable with not knowing what lays ahead, enough to embrace the unknown and allow for things to unfold, allow for yourself to be guided as you keep moving forward. Yeah, so in the next 14 days, you will be moving forward with less pressure to figure your entire life out, or to figure out your next step. Or you might be feeling a little bit more at ease, less anxious about your future in the next 14 days. I feel like you're receiving some kind of confirmation that is easing your mind about your future, and especially about where you are and where you're headed. This confirmation could be coming through an opportunity, or it could be coming through a sign, or it could just be coming through a feeling, like an inner feeling of, yeah, everything is all right. I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. So I don't need to rush. I don't need to hurry. I'm right where I need to be. And whatever I need to do, if I ever need to do something, I will know when to do it when the time comes. And I will know how to do it. So yeah, there was a message at the beginning about trust the process and trust your intuition. So this is literally about trusting the process. You're trusting the process in the next 14 days. And you're trusting in your intuition. You're trusting in yourself to do whatever it is that you need to do, when you need to do it, and when it's time to do it. It's very chill. And the expression devil may care came to mind at some point. So you could be exuding kind of this devil may care vibe in the next 14 days. A bit nonchalant, but most importantly, an air of ease, of peace. Because I see you being at peace with where you are right now. It's a really nice energy. It's like basking in the sun. And as you are in that moment, not having a care in the world, because all is taken care of, you're well. And whatever you need will present itself to you when you need it. So you don't have to worry, at least not right now, or you won't be worrying in the next 14 days. Yeah, and so if you were worried or you've been worried or stressed about needing to figure out your life purpose in the next 14 days, you couldn't be embracing this new mindset of, I don't need to find my purpose will find me. I'm being reminded of Harry Potter, you know, how it's not the wizard who chooses the wand, but rather the wand that chooses the wizard. So you could be embracing this mindset of, as long as I'm open to receiving, as long as I'm open to trying things out and to allowing myself to be guided to wherever I feel called to, I know that my purpose will find me. If you believe in the whole life purpose thing, or I know that whatever I'm meant to align with, I will end up aligning with, as long as I stay true to me. So I'm good. I'll be good. And right now I felt a sense of calm and relief. Yeah. Tension is easing up in the next 14 days if things have been pretty tense, if you have been feeling pretty tense. But let's see, things I want to point out before I end your reading. Some of you could be attending like an outside event, because I'm getting summer vibes with these cards. I keep feeling a breeze, even though I have my window closed and it's pretty stuffy and hot in my room right now. So you could definitely be spending some time outside, feeling the breeze, soaking in some natural vitamin D. You could also be doing a lot of stargazing or soaking in some moonlight. Some of you could be going to some kind of fair or festival. And if so, you will really enjoy your time there. One, because I don't see you stressing about how others are perceiving you, or I don't see you stressing about like expectations. Instead, you're enjoying the moment and allowing yourself to be present, and that is going to allow for you to soak in every detail and enjoy the experience. But let's see, doggies, canines could definitely be of significance because we have 2 showing up in your spread. If you have a dog, you could be taking them somewhere where there's a lot of space and room for them to just run free without you worrying about them getting hurt or getting lost. And I see this being a really good and happy experience for both you and your doggy. But let's see, sun signs. Sun imagery, sun symbolism could be an important sign or a good omen, as well as flowers or a bouquet of flowers. You could be given a bouquet of flowers, or you could be buying your own flowers. Or you could find yourself interacting a lot with flowers in the next 14 days. You could be very drawn to flowers or the scent of flowers, of fresh flowers. And then we have the zodiac sign Taurus and air signs. Okay. As well as Aries. Aries did come through at some point. So Taurus, Aries, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Especially Gemini. By the time I'm posting this reading, I know that the Olympics is still a little ways out. But since this is a timeless reading, some of you could be watching this specific reading during the Olympics. And if so, you could be attending an Olympic event, or in the next 14 days, you could be enjoying the Olympics with loved ones from the comfort of your home. You know, like watching the Olympics on TV or something like that. Maybe some of you are Olympians or your future Olympians. So you could be athletes. Yeah, and who knows? This could be a foreshadowing of what may come. Maybe you will get an opportunity to participate in the Olympics in a future Olympic game. So keep on going and don't lose sight of your dreams, okay? Because anything can happen. and you might already be on your way to making a dream of yours a reality. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit team, or spirit guides, as well as any other being of light that came through for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful next 14 days. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, bienvenidos to your reading. I apologize if there's a bit of background noise. I am recording right next to a window, and I do have the window currently open because it is just so very hot where I'm at, and I do not have an AC. So I'm doing my best to keep myself cool and fresh, as well as the camera, because it can tend to overheat when the temperature rises. Okay, but let us get started. So when meditating on the energy of this group, the messages: trust the outcome, trust in your light, trust yourself, and we are here to guide you came through. So what I personally got from these messages combined is that you can trust that whatever transpires in the next 14 days, it is happening for your highest good. And regardless of whether you choose option A or B, turn left or right, come across a challenge or not, you will make it. Make it to the finish line, or make it to your destination, or do well. But now I'm going to draw out some cards. Get a little bit more info. But right off the bat, I do feel like you are being asked to trust the process, and more importantly, to trust in yourself. Okay, but we have the Knight of Wands in the upright, and the Knight of Wands is a fire sign, and fire signs are Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. So you could be a fire, sun, moon, or rising sign, or someone who is a fire, sun, moon, or rising sign may be playing a significant role in your life throughout the next 14 days, or at some point in the next 14 days. Also, the salamander here appearing in the flag is really standing out to me. So salamanders could be of significance. Salamanders, the lizards, or any other kind of reptile. But salamanders are coming through in specific. And we have the 10 of clubs with number 35, the Tower. Okay, so the 10 of clubs for me is equivalent to the 10 of wands in traditional tarot. So we have a lot of fire in your spread, a lot of passion, instigation, energy. So what I'm seeing, especially with the 10 of clubs or the 10 of wands being in your spread, is that you have been putting a lot of energy. It could be physical, mental, or even emotional energy into creating, building, or maintaining something. You've been putting a lot of effort into something. And looking at the illustration in the Knight of Wands, it almost seems as if this wildy beast, I think that is how it is pronounced, is crossing some kind of finish line or checkpoint. And so there might have been a goal that you've been putting in a lot of effort to achieve, or there could be a project that you've been dedicating a lot of time to complete. And with the energy of the number 10 here, which does indicate completion, I do see you either completing this project, achieving a goal, or crossing some kind of finish line in the next 14 days. Or in the next 14 days, you will see yourself getting closer and closer to achieving a goal. For some, there's this feeling of, I can see the finish line. I can almost taste the victory. I'm so very close. I'm so very near. And this feeling of being so very near to achieving something is what is driving you and fueling you with even more energy, passion, or determination to keep on going and or see something through. Yet, if at any point in the next 14 days you begin finding yourself slowing down a bit, kind of pulling back or gently stepping on the brakes, because certain questions begin unfurling in your mind. Questions such as, hold up, what am I doing? Where am I going? Why and for who or what am I running towards this finish line for? What's the point of this project that I've been working on again? Why is it important to complete it? What's the purpose of this goal? Why is it important? Is it important to me? If such questions arise, you're being let know that these questions are not a sign that you are doing anything wrong or that you're beginning to lose motivation or sight of what is important to you, but rather that this questioning is you self-assessing and introspecting. It is you experiencing self-awareness, which is not a bad thing. It is actually a good sign that you are tuning in with yourself and that you're quite attuned to your inner guidance. So the advice for you, if this ever does end up occurring to you, is to allow yourself to slow down and to self-assess. Don't ignore the questions, but rather think on them and provide yourself an answer, so that if you do decide to keep on moving forward on the same track that you've been on, you would be doing so with awareness. And if you decide to change directions, then you will be doing so knowing that you just saved yourself some time and a lot of energy that would have been spent on something that you were in actuality not very excited about or didn't care much for. And so the advice for the next 14 days is, don't bypass the pit stop, because either you don't want to lose any time, lose momentum, or you're intimidated by the self-questioning. Questioning your motives, your intentions, your reasons for doing something is not necessarily a bad thing. And so I feel like in the next 14 days, healthy and productive self-questioning is being encouraged so that you can get on the same page with yourself, right? Because sometimes when we're on the go, we can get so caught up on just on going, moving, on running or racing, that we forget why it is that we're even going or running in the first place. Because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. The 10 of Wands in tarot can often indicate burnout. It's a card that represents a load of responsibilities, someone having way too much on their plate. It can also indicate duty and a determination to keep on going. So I do see that you have been quite determined to achieve something. And if it's not like achieve a specific goal or goals, this could be something like you've been quite determined to attend to your responsibilities to the best of your capabilities, getting stuff done, meeting demands, completing tasks, and your determination is being commemorated by spirit. It's being acknowledged. They don't want to discourage your passions, your determination. All they want is for you to be aware of what it is that you are investing your energy on. They don't want for you to expend your energy on something that is only draining you, because in actuality, you're not getting a lot of fulfillment out of it. So if you've been on the go, go, go without rest, without taking a pit stop to check in with yourself and give yourself a little break, some time to refuel, as well as to self-assess, that you're being advised to do so at some point in the next 14 days. And I feel like a lot of you will end up doing so. And you might end up doing so without you intending to, because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. You might just find yourself slowing down. And if you are someone who likes to be productive all of the time, or feels this need to always be on the go, 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 because there's some kind of guilt response around slowing down and taking it easy or taking a break, then what I'm seeing is that possibly you could end up reacting to this slowing down with guilt, remorse, or frustration, because I am seeing someone being hard on themselves for not having as much energy, for not being able to get as much stuff done, for working a little slower than they normally do, or for not having as much motivation to get stuff done in what they perceive to be an orderly manner. Yet, if you feel you could be one of these people who might be hard on yourself for slowing down in order to catch up with yourself and to catch your breath, perhaps, then you're being let known ahead of time that you not being as fast, productive, energized, or motivated, possibly even as determined at some point in the next 14 days, is not because you're being lazy, or there's something wrong with you, or you're not good enough, or you're not doing a good enough of a job. Please know that if you tend to fault yourself for needing to catch your breath, for doing what every other human and every other living being does, which is slow down. Even machines slow down at some point. Even machines need to be shut down in order to go through some kind of update or maintenance. So be easy on yourself and know that technically the slowing down is not necessarily your fault. It has nothing to do with your capabilities and your abilities. It has more to do with your responsibility to self, your commitment to keep yourself on a path that is aligned with you. It is your commitment to keeping yourself aligned to that which is of your highest good, to staying true to you, to listening to yourself, to doing right by you. So trusting yourself. Remember, that was the message that came through at the beginning, trusting yourself. And give yourself a break. You've been doing such a good job. I mean, if you are someone who forgets to give yourself a pat on the back, please give yourself a pat on the back right now. You are a very hardworking individual. The Knight of Wands is often depicted a bit like a player, but with this 10 of Wands energy with the Tower, I don't get that at all from you. I sense that you are very, very responsible. You're quite committed. When you commit to something, you give it your all. That's why you're coming through as the Knight of Wands, because you're passionate about your commitments. You're passionate about your work. You're passionate about your responsibilities, about meeting your responsibilities. And I don't feel like this has anything to do with people pleasing. This has more to do with your values. If you're passionate about being responsible, it's not because you want to impress others or you want to people please. It has nothing to do with that. At least I feel like it has nothing to do with that based on the cards and the energy. It has more to do with your sense of responsibility, with your loyalty, what you value. So seeing how passionate you can be about what you decide to commit to, I think it's important, or your spirit guides are saying it's important or at least your spirit guides find it important, because they want for you to be excited about what you do and feel fulfilled by what it is that you do. So they find it important that whatever it is that you're committing to, it's something that you are excited about, that is important to you, that is meaningful to you. Because I am seeing that they are differentiating your sense of responsibility versus your emotional fulfillment, right? Because if you are someone who is very responsible, you can be so passionate about being responsible, or maybe passionate is not the right word, but so committed to being responsible that you could end up being responsible over something that you might not really care for. It makes me think of someone who is very competitive. Let's say person A is very competitive, and because they're so competitive and they care so much about winning, they could commit to running a marathon or enter a running race if someone ends up challenging them. Even if they absolutely detest running, even if it's the thing that they abhor the most in the world, because they are so competitive or so committed to winning, or maybe taking on challenges, right? So there's something here about like finding a balance, or just becoming aware of the reasons. Like, why is it that you are so determined to see something through? And does the reason outweigh the motivation? Does that make sense? Or vice versa? Your reason being the justifiable or logical why for doing or not doing something, and your motive being your emotional incentive for doing or not doing something. I'm not sure if I phrased it correctly, but I hope that breakdown kind of helped it make sense. Yeah, because there's something here about you taking a moment to think about the purpose, the reason, the motivation behind something, and your feelings towards it as well. How you feel about it. How does it make you feel? And some of you, like I said, could be deciding that, yeah, something is worth it. Yes, this is something I want to see through. It matters. It means something to me. It excites me. I'm passionate about this. Or the motivation outweighs the reason, because I do see you, whatever the answer to your question is, I do see you being pretty determined at the end. So either determined to continue whatever it is that you have been doing, continue moving in the same direction that you've been going in, or moving in a new direction. Whatever the case may be, I see you pretty determined, but I do see you slowing down at some point. Whether you might want to or not, I do see you taking a break. It's like, I feel like your body is kind of easing on the engine a bit at some point in the next 14 days. And it's only doing so because it's finding it necessary at this time, because something needs to be addressed. It's reminding me of car races, which is why I mentioned a pit stop. In a car race, like a NASCAR race, I think, cars need to go through a pit stop, or it's very recommended for them to do so that tires can be changed, right? And the car can be looked at, get maintenance, so that the race can be completed successfully, right? And so you might be needing to go through a little bit of maintenance per se, but this could also be something like a check-in, just a check-in with yourself. I feel like some of you could actually be needing a physical break, a physical or a mental break, because I feel like you have been working pretty hard. If you are currently employed, or if you do work, and it's been a while since you've taken a vacation, since you've taken some time off for you, then I feel like you're reaching a point, or your body is reaching a point where it's needing it. I'm even seeing something like your body, your eyes, or your mind, your mental state, mental well-being is in need of a new scenery. So let's say, even if you don't work, if you've been repeating the same schedule for a while now, if you've been consumed by responsibilities that keep you in the same environment or keep you in the same routine, then I feel like your body or your mind, maybe even your spirit, could be craving something new, something different, let's say, something a little bit more stimulating or freeing. Because I am seeing someone or an energy craving new sights. Like, let's go out and see something new. I want a new setting, I want a new ambience. So some of you could be longing for this at some point in the next 14 days. Or maybe you have, but you haven't had the opportunity to really acknowledge this longing. Or maybe life hasn't slowed down enough for you to be able to acknowledge, really consider what it is that you've been longing and are needing. But I feel like at some point in the next 14 days, whether life slows down or not, you will be slowing down. But let me pull out some divination dice. How it's meant to. Oh, I forgot to say that this part of the reading can get pretty loud and noisy, so if you're wearing headphones and or earphones with the volume way up, then please do consider lowering down the volume or removing your headphones and or earphones, just for this little part of it. Okay, but I will only be considering the dice that fell with an illustration facing up, and that fell on the board and inside a section. Oh, I feel like having this one here though. This little heart just really stood out to me. I feel like it wants to be here, so I'll just leave it there. Heart shapes could be of significance, but for work we have the flower or the daisy. And then for money, we have the signs that are pointing in different directions. So yeah, and look, the sections that the dice fell on is work and money. So I feel like you have been focusing on either making money, working, improving your financial prospects, or you've been focusing on work, career. So with the flower falling on work, the flower for me represents gentleness, feminine energy. It also makes me think of the expression taking a moment to slow down and pause to smell the flowers, smell the roses. So at some point in the next 14 days, you will take a moment to smell the roses. You will be a little bit more gentle with yourself. Maybe not work yourself so hard, or this could also be a situation where at work, things might end up slowing down. There might not be a lot of demands at work, in other words. Or people at work, maybe if you work under a supervisor, they will be more understanding and considerate, as well as reasonable, of your workload. And they may end up reducing your workload or sending you some assistance, because I am getting gentleness with the flower. I also feel like the flower is representing a flourishing, a blossoming. So for those of you who are determined to see something through, I do feel like you are going to see some kind of progress at some point in the next 14 days. I don't necessarily see this being a breakthrough. I mean, it could be, depending on how you see it. But I do feel like there will be progress. I do feel like a lot of you will be proud of yourselves for something that you have achieved, something that you have completed, or something that you have figured out. With the flower, I also see you being a lot more compassionate and understanding towards yourself, especially in matters of work. If you tend to be quite hard on yourself when it comes to your career, when it comes to your work efficiency, you will take it a little bit more easy, is how it's coming through. I'm sensing this freshness coming through with the flower, which is making me think of relaxed. So you could be a lot more relaxed when it comes to work and how much you need to work. You might not be demanding too much of yourself in the next 14 days, which I feel is a good thing, because I feel like you can tend to be quite demanding of yourself, which can sometimes result in you overworking yourself, burning yourself out, or being a little unfair to yourself, because possibly at times you could demand of yourself to meet unrealistic expectations. But I definitely see a lot more compassion and empathy towards yourself and your need for rest, as well as your needs in general. But with the signs pointing in different directions, falling on money, I feel like this is saying that you have choices, you have options. Your spirit team is saying, or the energy is saying, you have options. You can make money in different ways. You can earn money in different ways. If you're currently working somewhere, they're saying you can earn money here, but this is not the only, let's say as an example, company where you can earn money. There's another company in which you can earn as much money as you're making here or even more. Yeah, there's something here about this is not the only option. So this is not the only job out there, or this is not the only job opportunity or opportunity to make money that you're going to get. So be open to your options and know that you do have options. And if you feel like you don't, in the next 14 days, you will be presented with options, or you're being let known to look. And if you have been looking, I wonder if you've been filtering way too much. If you have, broaden your horizons a bit. It's okay for you to be selective, yet be mindful of whether this selectivity is turning into restriction, like restricting yourself in a way where you're kind of blocking yourself. You're not allowing yourself to branch out or to try new things, try other things that might end up being more suitable for you or more beneficial to you. I feel like this is also indicating that if you want, you can have more than one source of income. Maybe some of you already have. And if you do have more than one source of income, money will be coming in from both or two or more sources of income. Money also makes me think of investment. So I do feel like you have been kind of splitting your energy, or maybe in the next 14 days you will end up investing your energy on more than one thing, working on two projects at the same time, for example, wearing two different hats, playing two or more very important and big roles, or attending to two or more very delicate responsibilities per se, because I did speak about you with the 10 of bows possibly having too much on your plate, and some of you could end up juggling quite a bit at some point in the next 14 days, and this juggling could be the very thing that will result in you needing to slow down. So there's just a heads up here, right, with the 10 of wands, that there is potential for burnout, especially if you have been overdoing it a bit, or something has been overdone, or there has been a lot of overworking. So just keep that in mind. Because again, if you can take a moment to slow down, to unwind, to look after you, to catch your breath, then please do so. By saying no, by setting your boundaries, by requesting for some time off, by exercising your rights, right? As an employee, as a citizen, as a human being, then please do so. And I wonder if some of you have been thinking about getting another job, if you've been thinking about, for whatever reason, the expression double majoring came to mind, but if you've been thinking about doing something on the side or focusing on two careers, two professions, and if you've been wondering whether this is a good idea or not, if this is what you want, then okay, let's go. You can do it. Yeah, you're being let known, and maybe you already know this, that it's not going to be, let's say, necessarily easy. It's gonna be double the work, right? So I feel like if you're already doing this, if you're already pursuing two things, maybe you already know that, yeah, it does require double the effort, double the energy, double the time. And that's why you could be feeling a little bit tired right now. And so you're just being let known, again, when it comes to these things, to remember to take care of yourself. I know that even adds more to the things that you have to attend to, but remember, your well-being is also a priority and should always be a priority. So look after your well-being. This heart here made me think of wellness. So look after your well-being, okay? You are important. And also, no, it's not always just about work, and working for the sake of working. You're also meant to enjoy the work, and you can enjoy the work that you do. So don't be afraid to also select things that you are passionate about and that inspire you. Working doesn't have to be boring or lackluster. It can be fun. And I think that it's meant to. Of course, sometimes, even the things that we enjoy doing can bore us at times. That's, I think, normal. But like overall, yeah, you are meant to enjoy that which you dedicate yourself to. Or you're just being let know that you could. But let me now pull out some oracle cards to get any last messages, advice, and guidance. So we have assertiveness with runners race across a field in the message. Make the earth shake under your feet as you run for your goals. Move forward with power and energy. Get fired up. Find your motivation and make progress assertively. It's time to take action. And this is with the planet Mars. Yeah, and I've been talking about racing, and then we literally have someone here running. Yeah, so I feel like if you have been feeling burned out, or if you have been lacking motivation, maybe you have been going through this like self-assessing and kind of finding a motivation. And if so, at some point in the next 14 days, you will find a motivation, something that will inspire you to get up and get moving. Because I do see you being with energy at some point in the next 14 days. I do see you slowing down, but I also see you getting back up and getting going. And you know, with assertiveness, I feel like this is about you being assertive about what it is that you're doing, about pursuing something. It's like through you self-assessing and introspecting, you're finding that assertion. It's like through you taking a moment to self-assess, you could end up finding the reassurance that you've been looking for, that yes, you are on the right path. Because just knowing that you care about what it is that you're doing, just knowing that this is meaningful to you, that you are passionate about this, will be enough for you to reassure you that, yeah, heck yeah, I'm doing something that I care about. I'm on the right path. This is important to me. So yes, if you've been losing motivation, maybe because you've forgotten the purpose, the reason for why you are doing something, then in the next 14 days, you know, a little bit of introspecting could help you, remind you, and that could help boost your motivation, give you back your motivation. And then you'll find yourself picking yourself back up with all this inner fire to just go, like, heck yeah, let's do this. I got this. Let's go. And if this is the case, whatever it is that you're becoming assertive about, know that you will see it through. Because this energy here gives me go-getter vibes. Like, I'm not looking back. My eye is on the prize. And people could say whatever it is that they want, but I know I've got this. I know I will see this through because I've made up my mind. And you can't change my mind once I've made it up. Or fear, insecurity, other people's doubt and skepticism cannot change my mind once I've made it up. But let me pull out another clarifier. And we have where you are is a perfect place to begin again. Relax, reset, and try again. Yeah, you're relaxing, you're resetting, and some of you are trying again. Maybe trying again at something. Maybe you're trying again somewhere new, or you're trying again with the same thing, or you're starting right from where you left off, but you're trying again with a new motivation, with a new motive, with new inspiration, one that is a lot more empowering and strong. That's the feeling again, like strong or passionate, perhaps. Yeah, because we do have Mars here. Mars is all about action and passion. But let's see. The things I want to point out. Cathedrals or like old architecture could be important. You could be visiting a building that is quite old, but that its architecture is very beautiful and it has been maintained quite well throughout the ages. Some of you could be restoring something, or you could feel inspired to do a little bit of maintenance at home or with something that you own. I also feel like a lot of you will end up being inspired to take care of yourself, like do a little self-maintenance, maybe go in for a physical checkup, or you could at some point focus or want to focus more on your stamina, maybe your physique, on fitness. What I'm seeing here, some of you could be taking to running, jogging, or you could start moving your body a bit more with the purpose of healing your body and or improving your physical health as well as your physical stamina. A lot of you could also be looking into exercising or movement as a way to clear your mind or to improve your mental health. Or you're being suggested to maybe look into that. But let's see. Whales, aquatic mammals could be of significance. And I forgot, is this a wildebeest? Wildebeest could be of significance as well. Yeah, I mentioned running, but you know, some of you could be walking, speed walking around the block, for example, walking through a park. I feel like movement is being recommended for a lot of you. Or maybe for some, it's being recommended for the health of your heart. Maybe like blood circulation. Because the heart here did remind me of pulse. But if you are someone who is an athlete, if you do like exercising, or you exercise a lot, I feel like you guys are being advised to not overdo it if you feel like you've been overdoing it, right? There's a limit to everything. It's good that you're exercising. It's good that you love it. If it's a hobby for you, then we're not discouraging you from continuing or pursuing this hobby, but it's more of finding moderation. Too much of something is never good. So don't overdo it. With work, don't overdo it. With exercise or studying also came to mind as well. Remember, rest is important. Slowing down is important. It's as important as moving. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides, as well as any other being of light that came through for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful next 14 days, and until the next moment, bye bye.